Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Politics and Why. And we're doing something a little bit different this evening. We're talking with Lynn Arthur, who is works with Peak Power Long Island. I've got that right?
Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, one of the biggest issues that every political candidate is talking about and people everywhere are worried about is energy and climate control. And you really do a lot of education in that space. So what would you tell voters they need to think about when they're listening to these candidates who have all these ideas about climate control?
Well, in New York State, we have some of the best leadership. We have the Climate Leadership and Community Protection Act. That was a law put into place in the last 2 years. It has mandates for getting all of our energy from renewable sources with certain dates for solar, for battery storage, and what have you. And it's really clear, you know, especially at the governor level, I mean, who supports that and who doesn't. You know, when voters, you know, all the decisions that people can make in their own homes, make different choices, the candidates' positions are clear. So the Democratic leadership from the prior governor and the current governor has put us on a path to getting all of our energy from renewable sources, and that's going to clearly help the issue of climate change. The competitor, Lee Zeldin, I understand has, before he was the congressman here on Long Island, he had the worst environmental record in his voting. So we're really concerned about if he happens to get into office.
But these laws are already enacted. Are you concerned that they might be overturned, or what's the concern?
Well, it's funny about that. So the CLCPA is in place, and they're currently determining the state legislatures, and there's a committee that's determining exactly how that's going to roll out.
Right.
But what if it doesn't get funded?
Yeah.
If a Republican governor gets elected, you know, has a lot of influence over funding and programs. I mean, I work at the municipal level. I have a 501c3, and I do public education, teaching homeowners what they can do to reduce their carbon footprint. But that's funded by Albany.
Oh. Okay.
So if those grants aren't in place, then...
Got it. Yeah. Well, hopefully it will be.
Yeah.
But just before we go, what's one thing that homeowners can do that can be the biggest and best thing for reducing their own carbon footprint?
The one thing that they can do, I think it's going to be heating and cooling. People don't realize the tremendous rebates and subsidies that exist to replace their existing oil-based heat or their propane system. I mean, you know, I could say electric vehicles, but not everybody can afford to go out and buy an electric vehicle.
And they're hard to get anyway. They're sold out.
Exactly.
A lot of companies.
Or I could say solar, but same problem. You know, not everybody can afford to get a loan to get solar, or maybe the roof is too old. But heating and cooling, everybody has that. And it turns out that next to transportation, heating and cooling is the next largest emitter of carbon. So the biggest impact that a homeowner can make right now to reduce their carbon footprint is revisit what it is they're using for heating and cooling their house.
And they might find themselves with some subsidies or rebates along the way.
Absolutely.
All right. Lynn Arthur, thank you so much for speaking with us. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
You bet. I'm Jane Hanson saying, see you next time.